I've got 20 slides. And this afternoon in the Theory U, we were talking about, I had to say that I looked at some models and found some symmetries, and found that lots of models have similar elements in them. And I kind of jumped down the rabbit hole here. I was doing consulting work, teaching Tom Peters' stuff, and he had looked at American industry and found all kinds of weird stuff going on. And people said, Tom, tell us how we can learn what you've seen. Teach us, give us a structure for it. So he gave a structure. He wrote a book with a structure with 5 elements in it. People, leadership, innovation, systems, and customers. Your people deliver things to customers through systems, and there's a feedback loop, innovation and leadership. Leadership is about doing the right things, innovation is about doing things right. But he had some people who had a course on leadership, and that had 5 elements in it as well. Leaders challenge the system, they embody the way, and I thought, that's interesting. So you've got a 5-element model, and one element of it splits down into 5. So, you can, if you've got a conceptual brain like mine, you get worried, So what are these 5s about, was what I was starting to think. And this was maybe 10, 15 years ago. And I've never shown this. I've never published this. You're the first people to be my victims, and if it bombs in Munich, I can say it never happened. And I remembered from years before a 5-element model, that in living systems you have the element of stability, my bones and my skin, adaptability, hinges, purification, my digestion, and then there has to be something that holds it all together, the endocrine system, integration, and put that all together and you get growth. And then I found another model with 5 in, Peter Senge's 5 elements. And I started to look at these models and kind of line them up on this the last model that you saw. So you can see I've got this whole thing in the wrong order, but hopefully you get the picture. So the next slide shows them lining them up. Stability in your organization is your people. In a leader, it's modeling the way. In Peter Senge, it's personal mastery, and so on. Adaptability is the leadership. Purification is innovation. Integration is systems, and we grow through customers, through helping others act, through mental models. So, and then I'm thinking, but where does this come from? Why are there 5? And there's some similarities between science models and our own experience. There's matter, energy, and a supposed unified field. We experience ourselves as having a body, a mind, and some kind of soul. Break that down into more detail, and the Western model of a unified field has 8 elements in it, with 5 layers: matter, subtle matter, gross and subtle energy, space-time. And the Indian model has 5 great elements and 3 subtle elements. And you can, still an animation, this is exciting. I didn't manage to get that one out. Okay, so these, thank you, that's wonderful. I didn't know they could work. No, I could have had the animations all along. I cut them out because nobody else had them. So you have 5-element models, and the point is, any development model is about getting from the surface of the planet through to order, to higher consciousness. So there's a reason so many models have 5 elements, and that's because the onion has 5 layers to it, from the outer to the inner. If your model has 4 elements, there's something missing. If it has 7, you can take something out. So that slide doesn't even need to be there, but it kind of shows them lining up. We're kind of running down now. How are we doing? Does this make any sense? Because I found hundreds of models. Gabriela Roth's 5 rhythms. We have 5 organs of action. We have 5 organs of perception. And even mankind evolved. First of all, we were hunter-gatherers. That's Earth. Then we were agrarian, around the rivers and traveling by water. Then we had an age of industry, which is fire. Then we have an information age. And you can see these waves getting faster and faster. And we come to the void, to Akasha. And evolution of man. I don't know if is this one going to... Oh, right, there you go. So that's another version of the evolution of man. 5 stages. And Abraham Maslow is showing that as individuals there are 5 levels that we go through, from which are about moving from stability, adaptability, some kind of purification, integrating it all, and then self-actualizing. So many models are actually symmetrical, and this is a systemic thinking model where you're taking waste, you're looking for things we can put waste in, you make breakthroughs, that's purification, you cluster models together, which is integration, and then you roll this out. That's the zero emissions methodology. Straight after I finished with zero emissions, I was starting to look at models for systemic thinking, for finding a shared vision. Appreciative inquiry was the same. Ilse sent me a model of appreciative inquiry in its 4D process, but before you did the 4 stages of appreciative inquiry, you had to decide how you're going to start. So 4 + 1, 5 again. The whole model thrown together. Creation is from consciousness out. Evolution has to be back from the outer side to in. And this model, this 8-layer model, is called Prakriti. It's nature. My nature is eightfold, the Vedas say. And that's just a sort of quick summary picture of the way that we're shifting on different levels. These are transitions, and where we're headed, I think, is to networks, to higher order dynamics, wealth based on consciousness, a worldview based on spirit, spiritual intelligence, and so on. There you go. 6 minutes.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David Saunders.